Nissim Ezekiel, a foundational figure in post colonial India's literary history, 1924 to 2004. Nissim Ezekiel was an Indian born poet of Jewish descent and has been described as the father of post independence Indian verse in English. He had a number of collections of poetry published which were very popular, and some, such as The Night of the Scorpion and the anti jingoism poem The Patriot, are standard verses still studied in some British and Indian schools. He had a varied career as an English teacher in India, England, and the United States. He wrote plays, worked as a broadcaster on Indian radio, and contributed many critical articles to the literary sections of magazines and newspapers. Ezekiel was born in December 1924 in Mumbai. The family lived in a small Marathi speaking community known as the Ben Israel. Unlike other communities around the world, this was a peaceful place with no evidence of anti Semitism to worry about. They were a relatively affluent family, with his father being a professor of botany at the Wilson College in Mumbai, and his mother the principal of the school that she herself had set up. Nissim was well educated and had a particular liking for the poetry of such as T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound. He did not much care for verse in his own language, and as he grew up, his writing attracted controversy. It was seen as too close to the old colonial influences by many radicals in India. He attended Wilson College, and in 1947 he gained a first class honors degree in literature and immediately started teaching English literature. India was politically a hotbed of activity at that time, and he took an active interest in that for a little while but soon decided to travel to England by boat. He spent the next 3 years studying philosophy at Birkbeck College in London, living in very low standard accommodation. Much of what he experienced during this period is found in his first collection of poems, which was published in 1952 called Time to Change. Having completed his studies, he then made his way back home. He could not afford to pay for his fare, so worked his passage, scrubbing decks and other menial jobs all the way on an arms carrying vessel bound for Indochina. There followed a period of writing for the Illustrated Weekly of India along with broadcasting on All India Radio. He wrote for a number of other newspapers and magazines including The Times of India. He was their art critic in the mid 1960s. Shortly after, he held visiting professor posts at colleges in America and gravitated back to Mumbai. Ezekiel's early efforts as a poet had seen him as some kind of dreamer, but he developed into someone constantly seeking the truth. Ezekiel died in 2004 after a long battle against Alzheimer's disease. At the time of his death, he was considered the most famous and influential Indian poet who wrote in English. He received Sahitya Akademi Cultural Award in 1983. He was honored with Padma Shri in 1988. Thus, Nissim Ezekiel was an Indian Jewish poet, actor, playwright, editor, and art critic. He was a foundational figure in post colonial India's literary history, specifically for Indian poetry in English. Thank you.